Good morning. At this time, we want to welcome you to the Drainage District Board of Directors meeting for today, June the 12th of 2012. Present are Commissioners Palacios, Precinct 2, and Palacios, Precinct 4, and myself. We have a quorum. There doesn't appear to be anything under open forum. Our consent agenda, any concerns?
No concerns, Judge.
Need a motion to approve? Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Item 4.
Item 4, presentation discussion by Hollis Rudledge and Associates on the recapturing of funds through federal and state agencies and other sources. Unfortunately, I was unable to get Mr. Rudledge in to come and make a presentation today, Judge, but I do have the opportunity now to speak to y'all. I've had some discussions with the judge regarding meeting with Mr. Rudledge on trying to get some legal counsel opinion on what further steps we need to take in order to recapture the money. We do have a copy of a letter that was sent by the Senator to the Secretary of State regarding that. So we've been trying to meet with Mr. Hollis Rudledge for about a week now, and we've had conflicting errors on appointments, but I think we do have another meeting scheduled for Thursday at the judge's office with Mr. Rudledge, myself, and the judge. And we will have this item back on the agenda for next Tuesday for the board's presentation by Mr. Rudledge.
Well, I, for one, have not been contacted by Hollis or any member of the court. And does he understand he is trying to contract to the court, not to one individual, but the whole court?
Yes, sir. We understand that the contract is with the board as a whole, which is the Commissioner's Court. The judge would like to meet with Mr. Rudledge to discuss some of the comments or opinions that he has on it. That's why the meeting's been trying to be scheduled with the judge, sir.
Well,
Tito, he can go to your office.
I would expect him to.
I would want him to, and to every one of the commissioners' office. This is not a let's talk holiday. No, I mean, we need some open discussion. I mean, our concern is not meeting with Hollis. Our concern is meeting with him so he can advise us as to what he's doing to earn the $8,000 a month that we're paying him. So far, we've been able to have a meeting by video conference with Senator Cornyn, and he generated that letter to the Secretary of State. I have a concern as to whether or not that there's really any, what the legal structure is and who has the authority to be able to get the IBWC funded, to be able to authorize it to pay us back. And that's why I'm pushing for some kind of a legal opinion that'll lay out all of the different legal obstacles that we have in the way that we need to overcome.
And I believe, Judge, that's what you have alluded to me and telling me, and that's why we're meeting with Mr. Rudledge, and that's why Mr. Rudledge would come back to the board as a whole to present that comment or discussion that takes place.
Well, I beg to differ, but I think he needs to make contact with each member of the court to bring us up to date as to what's going on.
We're not differing. I'm telling him that he needs to go and make sure that he visits with you and with Joseph and everybody else on his court.
I will advise him of that, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Item number 5.
Item number 5, presentation of scoring grid of the firm evaluated through the district's pool of real estate appraisers and surveyors for the purpose of ranking by the Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1 Board of Directors in connection with the surveying services for Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1 NRCS FAR McAllen South Lateral 15-foot easement. We have 3 firms: R. Gutierrez Engineering Corporation, Quintanilla Hadley and Associates, and Danimum Engineering, with a ranking of such as 100 for R. Gutierrez, 98 for Quintanilla, and 96 for Danimum. This is for surveying a 15-foot potential acquisition of easement that we might need. The task will probably be, I don't know, $600 or $800 for that surveying part.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Pursuant to the board's approval, requesting authority for the Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1 to issue purchase order to the number 1 ranked firm of R. Gutierrez Engineering for surveying services as it relates to Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1 NRCS FAR McAllen South Lateral 15-foot easement.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, presentation of scoring grid of the firms evaluated through the district pool of title report services for the purpose of ranking by the Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1 Board of Directors in connection with title report services for J09 Ramsire Garden parcel ID 46, 54, 57, ranking firm South Texas Land Investigations at 100 and Valley Land Title at 95. Again, these are for title reports that should be at a cost of $365, $400 apiece. They're just for title report, not the actual title policies.
Move for approval.
Second with a question.
Yes, sir.
What kind of response time do you get from this individual?
South Texas Land Title has been able to give us a response time of about 45 days. Usually a title company will take longer because they handle a lot of closings. We've had situations where it's gone as long as 4 months before when we go and try to get a title company to get title policies. And we've had numerous pools every year, Commissioners. You're well aware of the issues on a lot of land acquisitions. When it comes to real estate, there's always a bog time down on getting these title reports done because of the research they need to do.
Who is South Texas Land?
George Lopez, sir.
Where's his office at?
Here in Edinburgh, I can give you the information in your office, sir. They submitted in on the pool that was ranked, I believe, about 60, 90 days ago.
What company do they do?
Oh, Mr. Pengo was telling me his office is out of Edwards Abstract.
Oh, okay.
No other question.
All right, those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Pursuant to the board approval requesting authority to issue purchase order to the number 1 ranked firm of South Texas Land Investigations for title report service for J09 Ramsire Gardens parcel ID 46, 54, and 57.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
Item E, request approval to advertise for RFB number 12-012-07-18, Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1, installation of rock riprap on weir number 2 in conjunction with NRCS grant. The section of the repair of the weir that we're doing on the South Ranch, we've been able to get our NRCS to participate to the tune of about $400,000. So we're going to be advertising that particular installation of rock riprap. So we're requesting authority to do that.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approval of Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1 Chairman of the Board to execute documents related to the sale of the Edinburgh Airport property. This is a surplus property the district has on tracts of land that we purchased probably about 3 years ago, where the city of Edinburgh has requested to buy the surplus. It's been cleared through court already. It's gone through the appraisal process. Mr. Joe Banga could probably give you more details on it, Mr. Banga, if there's any questions from the board.
What did we pay for it and what are we selling it for?
Mr. Banga.
Originally, we paid $6,900 an acre, and we're selling it for around $7,200 an acre to include administrative costs for the county. And it's 59.93 acres, and there was an interlocal in place back then.
Move for approval.
Second.
Need a second? Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, Commissioner, we have no item in closed session unless the board wishes to entertain them.
Move to adjourn.
Need a second? Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We're going to have a short recess until we start our regular Commissioners Court meeting. Okay. Good morning again. We're now ready to proceed and are convening Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting for today, June the 12th, 2012. Present are Commissioners Palacios, Precinct 2, Palacios, Precinct 4, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Townsend, would you lead us in prayer?
Dear Father in heaven, we ask you to bless us this day. Bless us as we go about the workings of the county, realizing that everyone wants what is best for the county. Help us work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we do want what's best for Hidalgo County. Please bless our troops, bless our families, and thank you for all your blessings, dear Lord. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Amen. Any concerns with our consent agenda?
Yes, Judge, I do have one. If we could take out of consent agenda, item 9G.
Need a motion to approve subject to 9G.
Second. So moved.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, I'm asking for the court not to take any action, so it would be, 9G would be a no action.
All right, sir, then.
Thank you.
At this time, there's been a request to take an item out of order that I deem appropriate. That's item 8A from our county clerk's office, the approval to select the names for the 2012 grievance committee pursuant to Texas Local Government Code Section 152.015.
Good morning, Judge. For the record, Annette Muñiz, Chief Deputy for Arturo Guajardo Jr., Hidalgo County Clerk.
Good morning, ma'am.
Judge, we are here, as you stated, in regards to the grievance committee. Before we go forth, there's two ways that a committee can be selected. It could either be made up of individuals, elected officials, 7 elected officials and 2 from the public, or a total of 9 public. And those individuals are selected from those that served on the grand jury last year.
All right. I'd like to propose that we appoint our elected officials. I believe, how many are there? 5?
It is made up of the sheriff, the county tax assessor and collector, the county treasurer, the county clerk, the district clerk, and a county attorney or criminal district attorney, and the number of members necessary to provide the voting for 9.
All right. I know the county judge is the chair, but there's no vote on the part of the county judge.
That's correct.
So does that mean we get, if we have 6 and the county judge 7, do we, and we need 9, do we appoint 2 public if we were to go that route, or 3 public members?
It is my understanding that it would be 2.
Okay.
I have not looked at it, Judge.
Sir?
I have not looked at that.
Okay.
That is, Judge, we have had this structure in the past, and that is my recollection, that it would be the, to make up the difference would be the 2.
I think that the elected officials have a better understanding as to the budget process and the situation that we find ourselves in every year. I'd like to, for that, consider that to be given a consideration by the members of the court, but
Do we need to take action?
yes, we need to vote on it.
Is that your recommendation?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Do I need to select?
Yes, then we would need to select, and I would suggest or ask that we select maybe 6 names, and the reason for that is because we have to send out letters and they have to accept, and this will give us a little bit of leeway that if they don't accept, we can choose from the alternates.
All right. Can I do it all at once, or it have to be one of
2, put the other one's an
here?
alternate.
That one? That's number 1. There's number 2. Number want me to read them, or you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lena Salinger, 308 Formasia Avenue in McAllen. E.J. Saldana Jr., 312 East Newport Lane, McAllen. Those are the two that have been selected, and we now have some alternates. We have 4 in this order. Carmen Garza, 1010 Fortress, Edinburgh. Olivia Ramirez, 100 West Moore, number 84 in FAR. Ernesto Martinez Jr., 1410 Southgate in Westlaco. And Robert Lopez, 3311 Omega, Edinburgh.
Thank you, Judge. The letters will go out today for the 2 that were selected as the members. In the event that they do refuse, that's when we'll start going towards the alternates.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Mr. Guerra, item 5.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioners, item 5A, 1 and 2, don't need to take any action unless we have to take action further down the agenda. Item 5B, there is a request from TABC, the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, and they're wanting to use our M Road facility for firearms familiarization course. This would be held on Saturday, June 16th from 1 to 5. I have checked with all appropriate departments that would be affected. Everything is a go. All that's needed is formal action by the court, and all the proper insurances would be in place for the use of that building.
Move for approval?
Yes.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Item 5C and D, I'm asking approval to advertise and hire the following positions for the Elections Department of Voter Registration Specialist. If I could have action on that, that would be a grade 5.
Move for approval of C and D?
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. Judge, and for the record, D would be a Buyer 2, grade 9. Item E, for the Fire Marshal's Office, I'm asking permission for Mr. Juan Martinez, our Fire Marshal, to attend a Forest Service Incident Response training in Waco. This is scheduled, there's 2 trainings, one scheduled July 8th through the 13th, and the second is scheduled August 19th through the 25th.
Move. Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item F, I have the similar request. I'm asking for Brenda Salazar to travel to Austin for a Heart and Stroke Health Cities Collaboration meeting. This would be on June 28th through the 30th.
Move for approval?
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
As well as for the Public Defender's Office, which would be item G, I'm asking for Mr. Jose Martinez, our Assistant Public Defender. This would be for a trial tactics seminar, July 11th through the 13th.
Move for approval?
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And finally, for the Safety Division, along the same lines, I'm asking for Mr. Armando Guzman and Lorenzo Ortiz to attend a Texas Forest Service specific training to be held in Waco, and that would be on June 25th through the 28th.
Move for approval?
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item I is discussion, consideration, and action on Mercado Delta lease agreement and County of Hidalgo. Judge, Commissioners, I have been working with the County Judge's Office and Congressman Hinojosa's office on this lease agreement. We are asking approval to lease some space out at the Mercado to provide county services. We're looking at Texas AgriLife Extension Services, combination, I believe, with WIC and Health, which would coincide with the type of services that the AgriLife would be supporting out there. There is a lease agreement in place, or there is a proposed lease agreement. It would be for 1 year. The rental for the 1 year would be $20,750. In talking to the Congressman's office, they have agreed, and so we would have to revise one section of this agreement to include the utilities in the rental if the court so desires to take action today. And so we would have a revision, and I did find, and I do apologize to the Congressman's office and the court, We did find one typo that I need to correct on here. It's our standard out clause. It states 3 days notice. We do 30 days, and so I would revise that as well.
Judge, the agreement was not attached for review, so we haven't been able to review the agreement or
The
to...
agreement was not reviewed by the auditor?
No, it wasn't, and we can't confirm the funding availability either because the agreement was not attached, the draft.
Right, okay, the only thing I can say is this agreement was reviewed and processed through legal counsel. As legal counsel provided this for us, they did revise it. We have been going back and forth. I have talked to the budget office. There is funding in place for, if the court...
Well, if it's legal, the funding's in place, why don't we just approve it? And if the auditor finds something really seriously at issue with it, then we can bring it back.
Yes, sir.
Do you have the funding in place?
Yes, sir.
Total?
Yes.
Everything.
Now, mind you, this was the funding that we have in place is a prorated amount from here to the end of the year.
We
Is there
recommend-
anybody here from the Delta community? Yes.
We do have a
Were you-
representative,
Were you going to be
Flor
making a
Dial.
presentation? I don't want to, I was told there was going to be a presentation made, that's why I'm asking.
Judge, Tony Sandoval from the DRC, Delta Region Revitalization Corporation, is not able to make it. His sister is extremely ill, so that's why he was not able to make Commissioners Court.
Now, this is being pushed as an economic development project.
Yes, sir.
What is it that you're doing to develop the area economically?
Right now, there is a pending grant with USDA that this morning should be approved for $175,000 for that area so that they can go ahead and attract new businesses for the Delta Mercado.
What type of businesses?
Restaurants, businesses that would be able to create jobs for that area and be good for the Delta Mercado, the Ed Couch area.
All right.
Especially since it's across the street from the Ed Couch Elsa High School.
Okay. Go ahead, Commissioner.
No, just a question.
Yes, sir.
I'm in a meeting.
The grant total is for what? This year, or is it long term?
I'm sorry, the what?
The rental agreement,
The rental agreement, Commissioner, is it's a standard 1 year, but the dollar amount for this year has been prorated from here to December, and then we would address the balance of that, of whatever the 1 year is left through the budget process for next year. But it is for 1 year.
And Texas AgriLife Extension does have an extensive program, a community gardens program that the Mercado did initiate a couple of years ago. So Barbara Storrs, the executive director, will be able to utilize the 6 acres that are available at the Delta Mercado to expand her services at the community gardens that Commissioner Palacios, I know that you do have that at North San Juan. And that is the reason why we felt that that would be a great partner for the Delta Mercado.
And what's going to make this area unique? What's going to be the attraction? Why should people from the other areas of our county go out there?
The attraction is going to be the fact that they'd be able to provide organic types of vegetables such as they've been selling to the chefs in the McAllen area that actually right now are very, very popular. So that is a new angle that they're looking at to explore.
Any other questions? If not, I entertain a motion either way.
So move.
To approve, those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Marty?
You're not done? You're not done with your own?
No, ma'am.
If I can be heard after you.
Okay. I have one last item, item 5J. Discussion and appropriate action regarding the open forum agenda item and related policies and procedures as applicable. Judge, Commissioners, I do bring forth back this item that's been on the agenda, I believe, the last couple of 2-3 weeks.
Well, in respect, obviously, to the other court members that are not present, I had a concern raised by one of the commissioners saying that he'd love to be present on the vote, requesting the court to wait, obviously, for the other members to attend. In light of everything, I have not received many phone calls yet, as I was hoping to, in concern about the open forum. I believe it's we're giving the public an opportunity to state their concerns through the open forum at the tail end of the meeting. But it's just a request that, that we wait, or if we're prepared to take a vote. I mean, it's entirely up to the court members.
Well, we've already acted on it, but Commissioner Palacios wanted to bring it up again.
Oh, if they're, okay.
I think we could talk about this on several occasions, Judge.
Anytime you want to bring it, Commissioner.
Yeah.
You have every right under your heading to bring it up at every meeting.
And if it's in order, I move that we go ahead and move it up to the beginning of the meeting.
Oh, so you don't want to wait until everybody's here? I think that was a question.
The problem with this is we have a problem getting 100% attendance. And so we can act on this motion. And if the rest of the court feels otherwise,
Well, this is an issue involving public participation. That's a privilege that is granted by bodies throughout the state. In the county arena, the following counties have it, or we now have it at the end of the agenda. That would be Dallas County, Harris County, Castro County, Galveston County, and Tarrant County. You know, and I know it's an unfortunate situation, and we can't get a better time slot than 10 o'clock at night, but that's our time slot under KMBH, under the contract we have with them.
that's my recommendation and a motion. So,
All right, is there a second? If there's no second, the motion dies for lack of a second.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may I go back and just make one clarification under item 5C for the Elections Department? I stated voter registration specialist. I want to make clear that that's voter registration specialist 1.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I wanted to apologize to Ms. Virginia Townsend. She left. She wanted to make a statement on item 8A, and I was under the impression it was under this one. Would you care to make that statement now?
Good morning. Virginia Townsend from Precinct 3. The reason I signed up to speak during the agenda is, and I put clarification, because I know how much concern there was that when you go to the grievance committee, it's usually about salaries, and the people out in the community don't realize what the county is trying to do about salaries. They have no clue. So you're going to have to go back to having the public officials, and you did that.
Good.
But that was the concern I had.
All right.
But also, when we sign up for an agenda item, which we can do under the rules, we've got to be recognized when the agenda item comes up, or it's worth nothing. The thing is if you are going to keep us at the end where we don't have anything to say about what's going on before you make the vote, it's going to totally kind of close down the public input, because we do our work. We study the agendas. We do the background work. And you named off some that have open forum at the end, but we have a huge long list that has open forum at the beginning. But if we don't get to speak before the vote, it's worth nothing. So I do ask you to always pay attention if we put those things in about concern on an agenda item. Thank you.
All right, next item, item 6.
Judge, if I may, if you would take an item up that was on consent, and it's a clarification only. I had told Mr. Guerra that it was just one item that was left out. G had 3 parts. My request for no action was G1, and Mr. Guerra was not at fault. I didn't clarify that for him. So G1, we wanted no action, but I do need action on G2 and 3.
Under consent agenda?
Under consent, purchasing 9G2 and 3 do need action.
Okay, we can go back? Okay. Okay.
G2 and G3.
So the request is to approve then item G2.
Yeah,
And three.
9G2 and G3,
Yes,
okay. And no action on 9G1, I
One.
guess.
correct. And I apologize for that.
So move.
Was there a discussion as to what that was?
Well, they're timely. One is a renewal, a restatement of an interlocal with DPS.
All right,
The
I
other
need
one's
a-
a renewal of a contract.
Thank you. Need a second?
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And thank you.
All right, item 6, constables.
Good morning, Joel Rivera, Chief Deputy for Constable Precinct 4. Constable Guerra asked me to present this and apologizes for not being available to present this himself. Item 6A, discussing consideration and approval for Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 4 to enter into a interlocal cooperative agreement with Hall County Sheriff's Office for the purposes of TLETs, NLETs access on their cop sync message switch. This has no fiscal impact. It's we're entering into this agreement to demo a product that we hope will increase our productivity.
Move for approval?
Judge.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
There's a-
Oh, I'm sorry. You had a concern?
Just that there was no, attached to the item, there was no record of whether the agreement had been approved by legal or reviewed by legal.
The agreement had been approved by legal, and it was late in the day. And she will attest to that if need be.
Does that address your concern?
Was it the Steve Crane's office?
It
or-
was not mine.
No, it was the Criminal District Attorney's Office.
Okay, she approved it.
Okay. Those in favor, the motion is made and seconded indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
6B, discussion, consideration, and approval for Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 4, continued participation in the Texas 1033 Surplus Property Program.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Under the County Judge's Office, item 7A.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. We have the appointment of the City of McAllen's nominee to the Hidalgo County Regional Mobility Authority. And we have Pilar.
And for the term of, from 2/2/12 to 2/1/14.
And we have the Director of the RMA here, Pilar.
Judge and Commissioners, City of McAllen has made their recommendation, and they're asking to reappoint.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rodriguez, can you speak into
Yes,
the
sir.
microphone?
Yes, sir. City of McAllen has forwarded a recommendation to the Commissioners Court, and they're recommending the reappointment of R. David Guerra as a director for the Hidalgo County Regional Mobility Authority.
So move.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
the term of the appointment is going to be the date stated, the term stated on the agenda, or June?
Today's date is fine, ma'am.
Today's date.
Mr. Guerra is a holdover, and so his effective date can be today.
Well, I'm sure, when we appoint somebody, we appoint them for a term.
Yes, sir. It's a 2-year term.
Right, not beginning today, though. It's
Well,
beginning February of 2012.
Yes, sir. It should have been February 2nd, 2012 to run through
Right.
February 1st of
Well, by
2014.
statute, isn't that the date of the term? We can't undo what the legislature already did. All we can do is appoint to fill that term. And Mr. Guerra has been serving as I guess, a holdover.
That's correct.
Now, but his term will end 2 years from February of 2012.
Correct.
Not from June.
That's correct.
Okay. That's correct. All right, and under the statute, it's a 7-member board. 1 member is appointed by the governor, that's the chairperson.
Yes, sir.
Each member of this court appoints 1 individual, and then the largest city in the county, in excess of 100,000, which is McAllen, has the authority to nominate 1 individual, and that's what we're doing today.
That is correct.
Judge, I'd like to make the motion to approve 7A as David Guerra being the select from the City of McAllen's nominee.
Second.
All right, those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next item, 7B.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Karina Cardosa with the Public Affairs Division of the Judge's Office. The item reads, appointment of Armando Lozano as a volunteer intern at the Public Affairs Division. Last week, we passed the intern policy effective for the county, and we had a young man. He has just completed his freshman year at Columbia University, and he has expressed an interest in interning at our office. So he will be interning with us for the summer as a volunteer, and we would just like to make this appointment official.
He is an exceptional young man. He's, first of all, he's volunteering to serve as an intern. He was he the valedictorian?
He was a valedictorian, yes, at Veterans Memorial
at
in
his high
Mission.
school here in the Valley?
Yes, he graduated last year and went to New York, completed his freshman year at Columbia, and he just returned. He's going to be working in the afternoons at our office. In the mornings, he's working at the Boys and Girls Club. He's not here today,
Okay,
sir.
I was looking for him. I couldn't see him.
No, he may be watching online, but he had to work this morning. He has a part-time job at the Boys and Girls Club of Mission, and he'll be joining us in the afternoon. So we're excited to bring him on board and show him the ropes. He's interested in pursuing politics and economics, I believe, political science and economics, and so I think this will be a wonderful experiential learning experience for him this summer.
Right. Move for approval?
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
If he's available next week, you ought to introduce him to the court. All right, item 9, our Health Department.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Item 8A, approval to, 9A, discussion and action item, including without limited to indigent health care program and expenditures. I want to give you an update real quick, sir. Each of the partners for the 1115 waiver consists of Cameron County, Hidalgo County, Willacy County Hospital, and Starr County Hospital. We're beginning to develop our regional health plan. The hospitals have hired some consultants to assist with them. It's a very different format than before, and this plan's going forward. I wanted to just inform you that we will come and give a briefing on some of the planning and start scheduling the workshops that we indicated before. So I just wanted to give that update, see if there's any questions or comments from the Commissioner's Court. Being none, sir, may I move on to item 9B? Under 9B, requesting authorization to submit renewal grant application for the Regional and Local Service System FY13, funding an amount of $102,403.44.
So moved.
So move.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, motion carries.
Sir, under the direction of the Auditor's Office, I'm taking item C in reverse order. We're going to look at C2 first. It says requesting approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $12,000, which I don't understand why we're doing it, but they directed me to do it.
You have to have the funding available first, or you can appropriate.
You don't know what you're voting for, but they told me to do it that way.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Now, item 1, requesting authorization to appropriate the additional $12,000 of TB program income projected to be generated through August 31st, 2012.
Move for approval?
Check.
Is that for 1 and 2?
Yes.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Item 10, Urban County.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Our first item on the agenda is a request, actually it's a disclosing to the court and to the public that Mr. Santos Villarreal has applied for the owner-occupied housing rehabilitation program, and that person happens to be the cousin of the intake clerk, Ms. Angelita Ramos. We've already gone through the process. We have federal regulations to follow as far as disclosure. We've checked with legal and we're requesting action to know that we disclosed it.
What is a relationship?
I think they're cousins.
Well, we have a first degree, second degree.
What-
And Judge, I believe it's first degree.
Okay.
The person that this Santos Verial is related to takes the information. This person was on the waiting list just like everybody else. We have a process to follow. We disclose to the public. We get a legal opinion that it's not in violation of state or local law, and then we request a waiver from HUD.
Oh, all right.
Thank you. Item B is request, I don't believe there's any action taken. I just need to make sure that the court knows, unless of course you would like to. Item B is requesting the award of bids and approval of a contract for the demolition and reconstruction of the following. That's one unit in the county-wide area in the amount of $47,400 to Rigney Construction and Development. I'd like your approval on that.
Move for approval.
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 10B2 is the award of one unit in the city of San Juan, one unit in the city of Edcouch, and one unit in the city of Progreso, as well as 2 units in the city of Westlaco in the amount of $243,510 to G&G Contractors.
Move for approval.
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, item C is one we brought to you before. This is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A for professional service.
So move.
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C2 is the presentation of the scoring grid. The firms evaluated were EGV Architects with 94.5, Megamorphos INC with 88%, and Gomez Mendez Science with 84.34. Would you like to rank them in that order?
So move.
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Our final item is the authority to negotiate a professional architectural contract with the highest ranked firm of EGV Architects.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. EGV is it's a local firm?
It's a local firm, yes.
Who's the principal?
Mr. Vela, can't remember his first name.
Nope. That's fine. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I think he's out of Hidalgo also.
Okay.
Thank you.
Item 11, our elections office.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Amanda Valdez
Morning.
from the Elections Department. An update, Mrs. Ramon is actually out of town, and that's why I'm here. She is attending classes on ADA compliance for the polling locations and classes on super precincts or voting centers and the possibility of the county maybe going into that. Number 2, discussion and approval of early voting sites for the primary runoff election for July 31st, 2012.
They're the same location?
It's the exact same thing from the primary.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
We have the approval of 2012 certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for 2012 Chapter 19 funds.
Move for approval.
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And approval of 2012 appropriation of funds for Chapter 19 fund in the amount of $110,483.25.
Move for approval.
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, I do believe it is important, the Auditor's Office does have a point of information. The certification of revenues is the same dollar amount, $110,483.25. Okay.
Item 12, our Head Start program.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Edmundo Garcia for Head Start. We're requesting authorization and approval to solicit request for proposal from awarded job order contractors through the county's membership and participation in various cooperative purchasing programs, associates, et cetera, for the roof repair of the Palmview 3 Center. Facilities USA Limited Liability Corporation, Alpha Building Corporation, and CAS companies so as to determine the best value under the Texas Local Government Code 271.113.
Move for approval?
We're limiting your selection to one of those three?
Correct. These are all approved JOC providers.
Okay. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
They are local, excuse me, Mr. Garcia, they're all local firms, am I correct? Okay.
Yes, Judge Commissioners, Joe Panga with the Right-of-Way Department. Item 13A is consideration and approval to purchase a certain tract of land also known as Parcel 3 Minnesota Drain Project, and that's for the amount of $9,000.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 13B is authorization for the county judge to execute closing documents for the Edinburgh Airport property. And this,
Second.
Is that the same transaction that we're doing with the drainage district?
it's a different contract. It's two different pieces of property.
but it's the
This is
same
126 acres. It's under the same terms.
All right. Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 14, Precinct 2.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Raul Silguero, representing Commissioner Palacios, Precinct 2. This item is requesting approval of change order number 2, which is an increase of $5,705.40 for some minor adjustments, and an increase in the total contract days of 93, and the reasons being the inclement weather and a delay by another contractor causing the need for the change orders, and the authority for the county judge to execute the document.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 15, Purchasing.
Martha Salazar for the Purchasing Department. No action or report to make on 15A1, 2A, B, and C, and 3A, B, and C. Item 4, I don't know if the court is going to proceed with this item since it is Precinct 1, and Commissioner Quintanilla has been sponsoring this, but we'll proceed with presentation of the correspondence received from vendor Bougainvillea's Construction for Commissioners Court to permit and approve the withdrawal of the bid submitted in the construction of new Constable 1 building offices. I need action on that first.
So he's requesting to pull himself out.
This is what occurred. He did not submit in his bid Addendum 3. I am presuming from that that would have affected his bid. Thus, he is requesting the withdrawal.
He did not submit what?
Addendum number 3, which I believe would have, I don't know what Addendum 3 had, but apparently it would have impacted his bid because he turns around and asks us to accept his withdrawal. Now, that leaves us with the next bidder, which is a $64,000 plus difference more. So I have for your consideration item B, if you proceed to approve the withdrawal of the bid.
What would it do to future?
Well, item B is what the auditors bring into your attention. I'm asking the court to discuss and proceed with possibly retaining the bid bond. The bid bond is 5% of his bid, which would probably net us, if the bid bond is eligible for a claim. That is still to be determined, but I wanted to at least get the court to agree to pursue that. It would be, in effect, $32,998.55 if we are successful in making a claim against the bid bond. This would recover at least half of what you're having to go to the next bidder on.
The only concern I have is if the court grants permission for him to withdraw, you may be forfeiting your claim to his bid bond.
Correct.
I'd rather hear from Commissioner Quintanilla as to what's involved.
Well,
it's his project.
Correct, but this nonetheless has two effects to it. If you let him withdraw, as Mr. Crane said, you may not be able to go after the bond. If you make him, if you don't let him withdraw, we go after the bond, he's still non-responsive. So you've got to go to your next bidder, which is a $64,000 plus increase. There's another issue with this bid, Judge, Commissioners, is that there is not total funding for this to award. We're lacking about $250,000. Commissioner had told me to place it on the agenda, that he would be discussing with DBM the funding issue, but to my knowledge, that has not occurred. I don't know if he hasn't had time or he's been out of town. I'm not sure.
Well, the last time we discussed the issue also, when it went out for bid, there was a request that they break down the scope of work and addendum, so, because there's some certain elements of the project that can be undertaken by precinct
Correct.
staff.
Yes, because you're going to be considering two bids.
Right.
One for the building itself and one for the improvements.
Yeah,
I think it was the improvements that had the possibility of being done force account and thus possibly reducing the need for the, well, I don't know of all of the shortfall, but some of it.
And for the record, we've done the breakdown. We've had our in-house staff kind of look at some of the elements, which would be drainage and pavement work.
Correct.
And overall, there's a significant savings of almost, well, I mean, it's almost 100,000 from what we've looked at this point. There might be additional, I don't know yet. I know we have Raul Cecine and our work staff trying to break it down. We're just pleading to the court that if there's any opportunity to do any savings by doing some of the scope of work in-house, we want to engage. And hopefully the court will be in favor of that, obviously because of the shortfalls.
It certainly would assist you in the shortfall of the funding. So if you want to leave this until he's here.
I'd like to wait and hear from Commissioner Quintanilla. It's his project, and I'm assuming he is more knowledgeable about the goings-on as to what's occurring under
Certainly.
this process.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to bring you the actual, what's going to be entailing the discussion next time. Going on to the no action on 4, all of it. On 5, this is approval to rescind action taken by Commissioners Court May 8th on Agenda 32015 for the approval of an amendment to current contract number 008 for the printing and related supplies approved by Commissioners Court on 320.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Item B is acceptance and
Motion
approval of a
carries.
revised amendment to contract 008A, and that's with MEG Printing. That's the buyer printing services and related supplies.
Move for
And
approval.
that's with Copy It.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 6 is requesting approval of a professional engineering services agreement with LNG Engineering, DBA LNG Engineers Incorporated, for construction materials testing. This is the Hidalgo County Precinct 4 projects. It's on an as-needed basis.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 7, we are requesting no action. Item 8, as requested by County Judge's Office and pursuant to Article 3.02, requesting an additional extension to July 31st of 12 for the current agreement between Hidalgo County and Paul Vasaldua, DBA Vasaldua and Associates, for consulting work. Pardon me just a moment, I've lost my page. On the energy efficiency strategy conservation. as the county underestimated the time required for consultant to complete the task given and the delays on the part of the county to provide necessary information.
Are we requesting an extension?
Yes.
Karina, you're involved in that thing. I thought the vendor was asking for the extension.
No, sir, we are. And that's the only provision in the contract. It can only be the county.
The county has to be requesting it for it to be approved, sir. The vendor cannot.
And you're recommending that we do that?
We have been working with a vendor. We have been working with the energy efficient grant.
I know there was
It is in our best interest to do so, Judge.
There were some concerns with the quality of the work and the proposal.
Actually, it's also the completion of the work. If we did not.
The what?
The completion of the work.
Yes.
Because the liability exists that we could then have disallowed costs and have to return money.
Therefore,
The completion is crucial. So we need more time to complete.
And how much time are you seeking?
I'm asking till July 31st.
Till when?
July 31st. 45 days.
Okay.
So move.
Need a second?
Is that your recommendation, Judge?
No, but that's what the purchasing department is requesting. And to allow, I guess, a period of time for the county
As I said, it is in our best
representatives to get
interest to do
together with
so.
the vendor and try to come up with a document that we can accept.
Well, and submit. It's the submittal of also the reports.
Yeah, I mean,
To our funding
the
source.
county was awarded about over $300,000 grant for this.
It was more than that, Judge.
How much?
It was more than that, but I don't have the figure. But we would be at risk of having to return funds if the reports and the strategies are not handed to the Department of Energy.
And we have been working very closely with the vendor to ensure that we get the quality of the work that we need to submit that to Commissioner's Court.
Well, we want to make sure that we get a good product, so I would favor extending it to July 31st.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, Precinct 2. This is pursuant to the current contract with Ramiro Gutierrez Engineering under Article 11. That's a typo. It's Article 11. A request for approval by engineer to permit the subcontract of Ambiotech Engineering Group in connection with work authorization 2 Tower Road projects. I apologize. It's Article 11, not Article 12.
Okay.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C1, Precinct 3, approval of an Amendment 4 to the current agreement between Hidalgo County and Cook Joyce for the provision of engineering services in connection with Precinct 3's Penitas landfill to reflect the continuation of the scope of work.
Move for approval?
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Precinct 4, requesting approval of change order 1, increase in the amount of $4,321. Need to install additional footage and 1 double drive gate with additional 15 working days to finalize the project through awarded contractor Central Fence and Supply Limited. Turnkey purchase and installation of galvanized fence with the authority for the county judge or court member to execute the document.
Move for approval?
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Health and Human Services Department, this is requesting acceptance and approval of 2 interlocal cooperation agreements between Hidalgo County Health and Human Services and Texas Engineering's Extension Service, that's TEEX, a member of the Texas A&M University System, to provide the following training for personnel, including emergency response managers, first-line supervisors, and administrators who will play critical roles in the public health planning and emergency responses. And those are number 1 and 2 are included.
Move for approval of E1 and 2?
Check.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F is Colonia Access Program for Precinct 2. Presentation by project engineer, those logistics of recommendation to Commissioner's Court to consider and award the lowest bid meeting all specifications to 2GS LLC in the amount of $80,125 for bid number 115, road reconstruction for Esperanza Estates subdivision.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item G, pardon me. Requesting approval of work authorization 1 for the contract number 128 with a proposed fee of $76,752.71 with Javier Hinojosa Engineering to provide plans and specs and estimate of construction inspection for Round 3 Border Colonia Access Program project, which is for Precinct 3 under the Round 3 projects.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Under the Sheriff's Department, H1, we're requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A7A, items for which competition is precluded because of proprietary and secret processes.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item B is approval of a sole source declaration for Spillman Technologies, including authority to purchase and approve scanning licenses for 25 scanners being procured through the DIR contract 1623 for Sheriff's Office through requisition 216041 in the amount of $20,351.74.
So moved.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, that is all I have.
All right, next item, number 16, under open forum. First presenter is Mr. Rogelio Mata.
Judge, good morning.
Good morning,
Commissioners,
Mr. Mata.
My name is Rogelio Mata. On behalf of the City of Crystal City, I'm the Mayor Pro Temp. And the reason I'm here, and thank you, ma'am, too, and everybody. The reason I'm here is to present what actually we have in the City of Crystal City. We actually opened our facility again, and I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but we just
detention facility?
A detention facility. I'm coming. I've heard that maybe Hidalgo County was had an overflow of inmates that they would want to moved. We have a facility that we can fit at least between 250 and 280 up to 300 inmates that are empty. We will be ready on June 20th to receive any inmates that we could receive from anywhere. And I've just come in to see if in in any way that we could help the Hidalgo County to, if there's any way that they would release these inmates and need some help to house these inmates. We do have a new, it's not a new facility, it's a facility that we've had since the 80s. We just made I think over $100,000 of improvement. And like I said, sir, we'll be ready to house any inmates that the Hidalgo County would be able to release or have to be released. No, they don't have to be released, sir. Excuse my words there. But I have Hall Youngblood representing Emerald. We've contracted Emerald to be our correctional contractor.
Well, Mr. Youngblood also signed up, so you're welcome to speak if you'd like.
Go ahead.
Thank you all. Appreciate the opportunity to speak. My name is Hull Youngblood, here on behalf of Emerald Correctional Management, and it's the company that has taken over the operation of the Crystal City Detention Center that Mayor Pro Tem Mata was talking about. And what he wanted to propose was an intergovernmental agreement between Hidalgo County and the City of Crystal City for the housing of inmates. The proposal would include all transportation, also to set up what's the VTEL system, which allows for video visitation, and it also allows the courts to conduct hearings by video. So it's transportation, the video connection, housing, all available. And as the Mayor Pro Tem said, with $100,000 of recent improvements, it's got a new kitchen and they've updated all the air conditioning and done a lot of other just smaller improvements. It's a place that works, and you don't have to wait. There's a city council meeting going to be held at the facility on the evening of June 19, and that's why we have to wait until June 20. Yes, sir. The buses can be here June 20 if that's something the county would like to entertain. If there's any questions, I know the Mayor Pro Tem and I would love that.
Unfortunately, in their open forum, we can't involve ourselves in discussion.
I understand.
But you gentlemen, having made this trip down here, I think you ought to take advantage of visiting with my chief of staff, the county judge's office, who's here, who may get you in touch with our sheriff. You need to start with him.
You bet.
And because his opinion is going to be very important to the court.
We understand. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, gentlemen. Mayor, go ahead if you're not through, Mayor.
Sir, I'm pretty new at this, but
you're doing a good job, sir.
No, hey, I wouldn't be here if it wouldn't be so important to the city of Crystal City to get these inmates. I took time off of my work to come over here to see if it was for real or if there was a chance that we could get it. And if I need to come down here, or if we need to come down here again, not just me, the other councilmen, the mayor, whatever it takes to try to see if we can help you guys, or you guys help us too in the same way. Like I said, whatever it takes, sir. I'm not here I'm trying to see if I could fulfill anything that Crystal City might need.
There's that young lady that was just speaking earlier before you stood up.
Mm-hmm.
She's our purchasing officer.
Okay.
And she's sending out, I guess, a request for proposals or a packet for a facility such as yours to bid on our need. We do have, unfortunately, more prisoners than we can handle in our county jail.
Like I said, sir, we have a new.
Before you leave, why don't you visit with her? That's Miss Salazar there in the back.
We'll do, sir.
And Miss Chapa, that lady in green.
Okay. No, well, thank you for your time and giving us a little bit of time here, sir.
Thank you for coming down here, Mayor.
Thank you.
All right, next presenter is Fern McClarty.
Good morning. I want to thank Tito and for bringing up about the open forum today. First thing I'd like to ask, the county has County Commissioners Court public participation form. And at the bottom it says, this public participation form must be presented to the court administrator prior to the time that the agenda item or items you wish to address or discuss before the court. We need to know to whom we give this to. We sometimes give it to Monica in the back, sometimes it goes to Valdi, sometimes we give it to the judge. Usually it ends up the same thing. Y'all vote on it before anyone is asked if anyone's filled out the form. So we would like to have that cleared as to whom we give this to. Second, talking about open forum, I know out of 254 counties, I only had a short time, but I'm going to sit down and I'm going to, if I have to call each one of them, but I'm looking up. I do know that open forum is in the beginning in Cameron County, Denton County, Nueces County, El Paso, Anderson, Aransas, Archer, Austin, Bastrop, Bandera, and Bee. These are only the few that I've gotten started to sit down. But the people there obviously don't mind listening and having questions so that the public will understand what you're doing. So out of the 254 counties, there are a few that are public friendly. Some are not, some are worse than y'all, but it is our pockets, the taxpayers of Hidalgo County and all the 254 counties that you spend money up there every time you vote to give someone some extra money, no matter what department or who it is that's coming over here. So we would like to thank y'all today for letting us know exactly where we stand. Thank you.
All right, our next presenter is Commissioner Joseph Palacios.
I'm just going to cover the issue, obviously, about the open forum issue. I do acknowledge the general public that our office number is 383-3112. We are available every day to hear your concerns. I also want to extend myself in any way that we do have a website that does have all the agenda items presented that we will be deciding on, usually closed Friday, if not Saturday. We do make ourselves available. I do encourage any any resident, any taxpayer to please call. More than willing to discuss any concern, any item, potential item that we'd be voting on and hearing beforehand. I am in favor of open forum. It's a perfect time to understand the positions of our residents and our taxpayers. So I encourage those that are concerned about items to please contact me.
All right, this time pursuant to 551-071 and 072, would entertain a motion to proceed to executive session on the areas of, as listed on pending and/or potential litigation and claims.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. It is 10:46, we'll be in executive session. We're going to be convening our meeting, and we're now in open session. Under item 18, Mr. Guerra.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioners, item 18A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same. There is no action at this time. Item 18B, pending and/or potential litigation. There is no action at this time. Item 18C, claim of Brian Valadez. Proceed as directed. There is no action to be taken in open session. Item 18D, claim of George J. Jaber. Judge Commissioners, I would like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $3,175.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 18E, C2051-11-B, Juan Carlos Valdivia versus County of Hidalgo. Judge Commissioners, just as a bit of information, this is an auto accident that we're wanting to settle, and so at this time I'm recommending to the Commissioners Court to tender the balance of our self-insured retention under this particular claim as far as our ARTA policy is concerned.
Move to approve.
Second.
Which claim is this one?
This is Juan Carlos Valdivia versus County of Hidalgo. I'm asking the court to tender its self-insured retention to our carrier.
What lawyer made the presentation?
This is Chris Franz from Gil Peralez's office.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 18F, C264-3-11-C, Thomas Fonseca et al. Versus City of West Oakland, County of Hidalgo. Just want to disclose that we will turn this over to Josie Ramirez's office for facilitation on behalf of the county. And item 18G, C-1590-12-C, Mirtala Lopez versus Juan Vasquez and Hidalgo County. Again, I'd like to disclose to the court that we will be turning this over to Ms. Josie Ramirez's office to facilitate on behalf of Commissioners Court. And
what do you call the office?
Oh, just Josie Ramirez's office.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Not the law office?
No, not the law office, no, Josie Ramirez's office. And Judge Commissioners, before we conclude today's Commissioners Court, I want to disclose and put on the record that we will not, because of continuing education hours that are mandated on behalf of elected officials to ascertain every year, we will not be holding Commissioners Court next week. Our next scheduled Commissioners Court will be June 26th. Will be our next scheduled Commissioners Court. So we will not be holding court next week. We have no quorum all week.
All right. Any other questions, concerns, comments? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.